Hey everybody, it's Sean, and today we're going to be talking about the OnePlus 2, more or less my take on the OnePlus 2. I've been using it for about, I'd say a long time, maybe a month or so. And I mean, I've thoroughly been enjoying it. Right off the bat, it is a big phone, but maybe big phones are for you. I'm going to split this review up into three things: the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're just going to jump right into it. So right off the bat, one of the good things that I can say about the OnePlus 2 is that it does have a large screen. The screen is bigger than the OnePlus One, and it does look great. It is crisp, clear, and sharp. No viewing angle issues, no glaring issues, none of that. It is a 1080p display, and there's really no need for 2K or 4K displays here. I honestly think that it is one of the nicer screens I've seen. Colors are sharp and accurate. I haven't had a problem when playing video games on it, when taking pictures, when browsing Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, watching YouTube videos, none of that. It's all been great. One of the other good things about the phone that I like is the alert slider, which is good for those of us that need to silence alerts in certain settings. Whether you may be in school or you need to silence your alerts during class or at work, or you need to silence it during a meeting, this will be very useful to you. There are three settings by default, and by default all alerts are on, so meaning it's set to the bottom, which is the default setting. All your alerts come through. You slide it up one to the middle, which is set to priority. By priority, what that means is in your settings you would have to select which apps you want the alerts to come through, and only those apps would notify you when things happen. When you go all the way to the top, it's set to no alerts, which basically means no alerts. You're not going to receive anything. You're going to have the little do not disturb on the top of your status bar, and you're just not going to get any alerts at all. Once again, this is very useful in settings such as class, maybe when you're taking a midterm, final, or test, or when you're at work and having weekly or semi-weekly meetings with others, and you just can't be disturbed by your phone. Another good thing about the phone is in the spec department. My phone is the 64 gig model, which means it does have the Snapdragon 810 and 4 gigs of RAM. I believe the lower end is the 32 gig, which is the Snapdragon 810 with 3 gigs of RAM. But regardless of that, the phone is no slouch. It plays games such as Fallout Shelter, which I play a lot, and Neko Atsume, which is a cat game that I've been playing quite often, and even Badlands, perfectly fine. Loads them pretty darn fast. No frame rate issues, no lagging, no overheating, no battery issues, no nothing. Plays these games flawlessly. You can also multitask, so you can use apps such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, your usual music playing in the background. Open your task manager, see all those apps running, and this phone will not slouch at all. Another great thing that I like about this phone is the camera. It does take great pictures and videos in all settings. I have actually taken quite a few pictures in low lighting. I mean, it is a bit slow when focusing, but it can get the job done. Once again, it's not a DSLR, so you're not going to get your super duper duper nice stuff, but it is going to be able to take pictures and videos in any setting. A lot of light, moderate amount of light, no light, it'll be able to do it. Now on to the bad. There are a few bad things about the phone that I personally don't like. I personally don't really like Oxygen OS. I mean, I'm getting used to it, but at first it was pretty bad. It's not CyanogenMod, which is pretty customizable, but there are certain things missing, such as killing all apps and just customizing everything like in the top status bar and whatnot. When I first got the OnePlus 2, it was pretty buggy, and there were updates coming out regularly. One of the issues when I first got it was, I believe, Facebook, where Facebook would just open and crash. I thought it was the app. I uninstalled it multiple times. That didn't fix the issue, but OnePlus pushed an update, and that fixed the issue. They are regularly pushing updates, maybe every week, every other week, and it's fixing many issues such as any app crashing, any lagging that's going on, any known bugs. They're all being crushed. So they are, even though this is their first ROM or custom OS, they are putting the effort to fix all issues. but there is no Marshmallow yet, so you're still running Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, and I believe sometime this year Marshmallow will be released. Other thing that I don't like about the phone is the button placement. I know a lot of phones are going with the whole, we need the right hand to have all your buttons, which means the top two buttons are your volume rocker and the bottom one is your power button. What I don't really like about that is the fact that all the buttons feel the same. Some manufacturers put a emphasis on the power button where they add like it's bumpy or it has grooves in it, so you feel it. But when you're in your pocket, you can't really feel it, which can lead to things such as accidentally turning on the screen while the phone's in your pocket. When that happens, if you don't have a password, maybe when it's in your pocket, you move a little bit and it unlocks your phone, flashlight comes on, camera goes on. It's happened to me. I've had music pause because my screen accidentally turns on when I try to lower my volume using the volume rocker. I mean, other than that, one more thing that I don't like about the phone is the battery. Just because it's bigger doesn't necessarily mean it's better. So it does have a bigger battery than the OnePlus One, so it does have a 3300 milliamp hour battery compared to the 3100 milliamp hour battery from the OnePlus One, which should mean that it does have more battery life, but that's not necessarily true. While I could go about a day, I'd say, easily with the OnePlus One and come home with 50 to 60% battery, with the OnePlus Two I can't do that. Maybe it's the specs, because it does have a, I guess this is considered top of the line processor and RAM, or maybe it's a ROM issue or something, but the battery does seem to be more depleted daily than the OnePlus One. I can come home with a 30 to 40% after an 8-hour workday, which is basically me using the phone mostly for music. So on my commute home, which in total is 1 hour both ways, email pushed down every 15 minutes, maybe occasionally playing a game or two, but checking social media. I mean, I've been doing the same thing with the OnePlus One when I had it and I didn't have that issue. So I mean, I'd recommend either take your USB-C cable with you and possibly charging it like at work during lunch breaks, or just getting an extra USB-C cable and leaving it wherever you go and charge it then, because you know, you may, depending on your usage, actually max out the battery in one day, which is about 8 hours. So for the ugly things that I absolutely dislike about this phone, first and foremost, the fingerprint scanner. I've only used one phone with a fingerprint scanner before this phone, and that was the iPhone. It works amazing on the iPhone, and I can get Touch ID to unlock my phone, you know, practically in one touch, but it doesn't seem the case with the OnePlus 2. I'd say I'm getting about an 80% success rate, and it does often take 3 to 4 placements of my thumb for the phone to unlock, which kind of defeats the purpose of it in my opinion. I do understand it's for security, but if it does take that many times to read my fingerprint, then it's something I can really do without. I mean, it's just kind of a hassle because, you know, if you place it about, I think, 5 times, you have to enter your swipe pattern, which, I mean, I could have just used my swipe pattern to begin with. Another thing that I really don't like about the OnePlus 2 at all are the buttons. The hardware buttons, they're touch sensitive. So it's kind of weird because your home button's a fingerprint scanner, but then your menu and your back button are the two lines. And it's kind of weird because I personally couldn't remember it. The home button is obviously easy to remember because it's in the center like most other phones. But I mean, even having them placed as default Android, so with the rightmost one being the menu, no, actually the rightmost one being multitask, where you can pull up your task manager, and the leftmost one being the menu, I just couldn't seem to, like, I know it, but when I have it on, it just doesn't work right. I've tried swapping it and I still couldn't remember. So in my case, I've since basically 5 minutes after taking out the phone, I've had on-screen buttons, which many think would take up a lot of screen real estate, but once you turn it on, you kind of realize that it doesn't. I personally like it better because it's just easier to remember because it's default throughout Android. So the middle square is home, back triangle, middle circle is home, back triangle is back, and the square is multitasking. You know, I'd personally go with on-screen over hardware, but it is nice that they put it in there. And now some honorable mentions, which personally just fit no category. It does have swappable covers, the OnePlus 2. I personally haven't swapped my cover yet, but that can be useful. I've used the phone as my daily driver for, like I said, a month, and the back is starting to get pretty dirty. I got the sandstone black, and in my opinion it feels less sandpaperish and more oily. But there's no need to worry. I have tons of options for other sandstone, from sandstone replacement to carbon replacement, all the way to like 4 different shades of wood. So in my opinion, it's like the Moto Maker, but it can change every day like your clothes. With Moto Maker, you build your phone and that's the phone you have. With the OnePlus 2, just head on over to oneplus.net, hit the store. You have like 8 different swap covers, so you can change it to match your, I don't know, your socks the next day. Another honorable mention is the dual SIM. Dual SIM is dual SIM. I've never used it, but I'm assuming if you travel a lot, dual SIM is really useful. I've known people that when they travel, I don't know, to Canada, they have to take out their T-Mobile SIM card and put in their Wind Mobile SIM card. Well, you don't need to do that here. You just put your Wind Mobile in SIM 2, and then you just go into your settings and prioritize everything to SIM 2. So you set your calling to SIM 2, text to SIM 2, and data to SIM 2. Then you don't have to worry about being charged for international fees because everything's set to your Canadian carrier. Another honorable mention is the nice screen protector that comes installed. Comes from factory, don't need to worry about aligning it, air bubbles and dust and whatnot. I've had it on since I've got it. I've got the OnePlus 2 since they launched. It takes a ton of scratches every day. Put it in my jacket pocket, take it out. Put it in my jeans, take it out. Scratches on scratches on scratches, and it's lasting. It's not folding from any edge. It's not getting dust under it, nothing. In my opinion, no need to worry about a screen protector. Why worry about one now? Use the one that you have on it. When it gets scratched up, go on eBay, go on Amazon, go on the OnePlus store, I don't know. Get a screen protector. Heck, get a tempered glass so if you drop it, you won't break your screen. But yeah, that's about it for the OnePlus 2. Those were the good, bad, the ugly, and the honorable mentions. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you enjoy the content I create. If you don't, well, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll never see you again. Hope you guys enjoy, and have a great day.